I gotta be honest with y'all, I've always felt a bit unlucky as an artist with my art career and social media, maybe because of the nature of my art, which is overall not very commercial, but also because I've been having a bad time staying with one type of project for too long, so I don't give enough time for people to really get acquainted with my art. But lately I've been thinking about how luck can be negated or at least overcome, and I've seen some results related to it lately, and I wanted to give you some tips, at least some things that I have been learning lately. Nothing that I say here is set in stone, but hopefully it will help you if you are feeling unlucky with your art and social media as well. So yeah, let's get right into it. Before anything else, I just want to say that I really wanted this channel to be a safe place for all us artists. So if you have art that you are working on and want to share with us, we have the community posts, so feel free to use them. And if you think that this kind of video is helpful for the art community, please don't hesitate on liking and commenting your ideas on it. Plus, I've been working on a book on art and life, and the first chapter is free, so definitely check it out on this video's description. Anyways, without further ado, let's go. The first thing that I want to make clear is that I don't negate the existence of luck. Luck does exist, and it does play a role in your life, both in art and outside of it. There's no way that I could just ignore its existence. Anything that you do online, and nowadays pretty much everything you do, even applying for jobs, is online. Nowadays anything online really depends on a little bit of luck and the algorithm to some extent. Some things more than others. Even applying for jobs is online nowadays, so you are going to deal with luck whether you want it or not. But the thing is, it mostly applies to social media though, because social media is the place in which the algorithm has a lot of power over you, but in other cases it's tamer, and there are spaces online in which you can control a little bit better your path, let's put it like this, such as applying for jobs. Now, applying for jobs is another problem, and we should talk about this another day, but it definitely is a better digital environment for you to control your luck. But when it comes to social media, I'm not going to be the guy who tells you that it is not important or helpful to have a growing social media for artists, because it does help a lot. It helps with exposure. But one thing that happens a lot is that people think that having a huge social media following makes you instantly profitable as an artist, and that's not always the case, because most people who are going to follow you are going to follow you because they feel inspired by you, not because they want to buy your art or pay for your services. So it does help mainly with exposure, but it does not solve the problem, because being famous in social media is not as important as being famous and have your name around in studios or being known by art directors, for instance. And the artists that I've seen and that I know that earn the most constantly are not even those who have a huge social media following. They are very well known among studios and art directors, but not necessarily are very well known to the public. So you should not strive to get lucky to force virality. And the sole idea of getting viral with one thing and not being able to strive too far away from that one thing, being afraid of losing that momentum, that makes me absolutely afraid of going viral at any moment. I think this is one of the worst outcomes ever. And I've seen more than once an artist getting absolutely destroyed emotionally because they got viral with things that they didn't intend to. So that's definitely something that can happen to anyone. And on the right hands and the right circumstances, it might lead someone to a good place in their art career, but most of the time, virality is not going to solve anything, and it can make everything worse. So striving for it is probably not the best idea. At the end of the day, you are still free to choose this virality, do it as you want, but there are definitely negative sides to it. There's definitely stuff that can go wrong, but there's things that you can do to ignore luck and get what you want anyways. And I think there's three main things that you can do right now that can change your luck, quote unquote luck. The first one is skill. People who need art services need skilled people. They need people who can do their job and do it very well. You need to be ahead of your competition if you want consistent workflow, if you want a lot of jobs and gigs. You have to be very good at what you do. And if you really want to get good as an artist, you have to be passionate about it. So any sort of becoming an artist because you want the clout around it is an option, but it is definitely not optimal, because the chances of you getting through all the struggle without loving art they are very slim. You have to be very persistent, and it's very difficult to be persistent when you're not passionate about something. So being passionate about art is already a plus, and it will help you to take your time and struggle a lot and really do that one thing that you love doing again and again and becoming better at it. So you need to improve a lot. But that's the thing, people think that you need to improve fast, and not necessarily, because I think we artists tend to minimize our work and our progress. And if you are consistent with your art and you take a look at your pieces from 2-3 months ago, you're probably going to see a lot of differences and a lot of improvement. Because that's the thing, a 1% improvement on your art is already a lot. You might not realize it, but it is a lot. So you have to practice and become better. You focus on become better, and eventually you're going to see that people's reaction on your art is different. You might not reach too many people. You might not be as lucky to get your art to reach more people, but the better your art is, the lower the bar is for people to really interact with what you do in the first place. Although luck still plays a role here, it is way easier for someone to interact with your art and leave a comment and like and share it or become a fan if they like your art in the first place. So if you cannot control luck, at least you can control your efforts, and your efforts are going to dictate a lot on the impression that your art leaves on other people. So don't let the numbers demotivate you. You don't have to change the numbers. That's not your role. You cannot control luck, but you can control how much time you spend practicing and improving and becoming better. And you don't need to rush it. You don't need to become a fast-paced artist. You don't need to make paintings in 2 hours if you take 8 hours to finish them. Just take your time and finish them properly. You just need to be consistent, not fast. Which leads me to the next point, which is output. I just said that you don't need to rush it, and that's true, but output is important. Volume negates luck. And I like to think about the dice metaphor. Let's say that you and your friend, each of you got a dice, and you need to roll it at the same time and get, let's say, a 6. Maybe your friend rolls the dice once and gets a 6. Nice, they got lucky. And then you roll it again and again and again, and you get other numbers, not 6. And then you need to roll it like 10 times to get a 6. You both got 6, but it just took you more time. You were unlucky, but still, you got it. At the end of the day, you got it, just took longer. Volume negates luck, because luck is based on statistics, it's based on numbers. If you take an infinite number of reps, it is impossible for you not to get what you want. And of course, you don't have infinite attempts, but you do have a lot of them, way more than you think you do. And when I say output and outputting a lot, I don't say necessarily just art pieces, those help a lot, but also reaching out to people. So if you take your time every day to reach out to other people, to interact with other artists, to send emails and to apply for jobs, you're going to have more leads and more chances to get stuff than if you don't apply them every day. If you apply for one art magazine, let's say, every single day, you're going to have 100 reaching out outputs at the end of 100 days. If you apply for 10 every day, you're going to have 1,000. The more output, both in making art and reaching out to people and interacting with people, both artists and not, this is all about volume. And at the end of the day, your art as a whole, your art experience and output, this is your portfolio. I need you to ignore a little bit the socioeconomics consequence of what I'm going to say, but you are a living portfolio, and your whole art presence, both in person and online, is going to be your portfolio. So volume is important, and having a lot of volume is going to make you more propense to have experiences, and each experience counts. And that's why you need connections. You need to find your tribe and make connections. You cannot make it as an artist alone. You need to find people who like your work and who want to work with you. And this is important. We know some people, some artists who are low-key evil. Like, they seem to be the worst people to work with. But the reason we even hear about them is because they are too famous, they're too big to fail now, or they have always been too confident, overconfident, and they were like so skilled and they were at such a right spot at the right time that this negated all the consequences of their behavior. But most of the time, if you are a pain in the ass to work with, people won't work with you. That's just how it is. You wouldn't want to work with people who make your life insufferable. This is just a friendly reminder to be cool, be nice with people, and make connections. Be kind to them. Even if you critique their work, other people's work, and even if you don't agree with someone, both people who are hiring you and people who are just interacting with you, be nice to them, really. It makes a lot of difference, and it does add up. Each mistake that you do adds up fast, and each nice thing that you do adds up slowly but surely. So support other people, don't be selfish, interact with them. You cannot expect people to encourage you and help you if you're not doing the same to them. And this is not a moral thing, this is just how human connections usually go, mainly in the art world. So collaborations and being part of a community is key. If you interact with a lot of people more constantly, you're more likely to meet people at the right time, at the right places. So make sure that you are on a lot of different spaces and having a presence in other people's lives. And most of all, make sure that whenever you get a client, that they like your work, but also and mainly that they like you. Because this way, they are more likely to come back for more. These are the 3 things that I think are crucial for you to improve on if you want to negate luck. Again, luck still exists. It is still something that plays a role in our lives, mainly on social media, and it is important, and it does make us feel better to finally break free from a string of bad luck. But you don't have to think about luck too much because it's not under your control. But the things that are under your control are your skills, your outputs, and your connections. Those things you can control to some extent. So I encourage you to do that and try to control them. Try to improve those fields in your art career. Hopefully this was somewhat helpful. I still have a lot to learn and grow as an artist, so if you have different ideas, if you have your own comments and opinions on that, please feel free to share them with us in the comments down below. And maybe let's follow each other on social media too. Let's make those connections. Again, if you like this kind of stuff, please like and share. And there's that free chapter too on my Patreon, so check it out on this video's description. And at last but not least, thank you so much for being here and listening to this random guy on YouTube, and hopefully this was somewhat helpful. So yeah, and I hope to see you here once again next time. See ya.